And coming to you live here from Dr. Phillips, the affluent suburb defined by its luxury estates and golf courses close to the theme parks of Universal Orlando. We are here today with yet another replay cast coming in here from the exact same week of that EU cast that we had a couple of years ago, but did I say years? I meant days ago. A couple of days ago. But from a completely different region. Yes, it is now ESL Open Cup America's time. And I am, of course, your host, Yaku of Yakuzaku. With me today is el bebedor de tequila que tiene un monstruo conocido como Gila. Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
See, papi, see. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another ESL Open Cup America's cast. It's been a couple of months since we've covered this specific weekly tournament, or the ESL Open Cup Americas in general. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, but we are finally here. We are finally back, especially with that new patch.
Oh, indeed, papi. And we are, of course, going to be kicking things off with a matchup that we didn't get in that EU cast, but one that I think will really showcase a lot of differences in the new patch. It's a TvT.
True. So for those wondering, we casted ESL Open Cup EU 2 days ago, and that was, of course, one of the first iterations of the new balance mod that was applied to a tournament setting. And what's important is that this tournament was mere hours later. It was on the same day. So is it likely that some of these participants were watching and maybe took note of, certain changes? It's possible, maybe they were. The other important thing to take note of is that in ESL Americas, the Koreans wake up. The Koreans do wake up in the morning in time. These are either sane, upstanding citizens that wake up at regular hours, or they're degens that stayed up all night.
I was gonna say. So you have way too much faith if you think that they wake up early to play in something.
I want to believe it. Okay? Oh my god. But who definitely is a degen are the Europeans that play, because they, especially the ones who participated in the EU Cup and stay up all the way and keep playing in NA as well after. Oh.
Yeah. And then they stay up another couple of days to play in Korea.
There you go.
There you go.
I think MaxPax is the only one who's done that before.
He has. He has, but he did it back when the Korea Cups or the Asia Cups were on Mondays as well.
True. That is true. But here we go. We're going to be diving into our first series here of the night. We're going to be kicking things off with a matchup that we all know and love, a TvT.
Yep. We're going to be jumping right on in.
Oh boy.
The land of the Americas.
Exactly. Have you casted ESL Americas before?
I think I did a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think that was one where I actually casted with Yoda Slim at one point.
You did cast.
It was either that or Sentimiento.
It was a Sentimiento.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye.
Never mind then. Anyway, we are going to be kicking things off now on Inside and also Out. We're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in that bottom left-hand corner. We have a blue Terran player coming down from the land of Italia. He is going to be representing Team Roddy. We have BabyMarine.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran player representing Psystorm Gaming. It is GuMiho. Gummy. Aye. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how the meta has evolved in a lot of these weekly tournaments. There was a time when there were a handful of Koreans. I remember Cure and Zest, and I want to say Solar as well. They would actually stay up and play in ESL EU. But if you remember, that was also back when all the ESL Cups were on the weekend, not in the middle of the week.
Wait, what?
They all used to be on the weekend.
Yeah, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait. No, no,
Like,
that
you know
that
how,
doesn't compute to me. I remember when they first came out, they were all on Mondays, right?
well, they were, if you remember, like, for example, ESL Asia is still on Sunday, because they were all on Sunday, and then they moved.
Right, it's getting back to me. They started off as all of it being on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then it became all on Monday.
Yes.
Then Korea went back to Sunday.
Yes.
It's coming. Yes. Okay. It's coming back to me how convoluted that ended up being. Thanks, Afrika.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they're not lined up together, but you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it works out in the end.
Shaking my head. Oh god. But yeah, so this is of course our first matchup for the time being. We don't really get to see these two players duke it out too often here. We see GuMiho plenty of times in ESL Asia. BabyMarine in these online weekly tournaments has been performing quite well. He's been making a bit of a name for himself. But I feel like he's definitely the underdog coming into this series, and we're definitely looking at him to try and mix things up against a player of the caliber of GuMiho.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, GuMiho is definitely known in the past anyway for being a bit of a TvT sniper, and already he is the player to switch things up a little bit, going for the double racks as opposed to BabyMarine's single 1-1-1.
Yeah, we see GuMiho, you know, being a little bit greedy as well, maybe feeling confidence, going for a CC on the low ground, on location as well. BabyMarine just approaching this in a bit of a safer fashion as well. We didn't really see kind of any early reactor opener, from either one of our players, but eventually GuMiho is going to be getting there. He opted not to be like safe either. He opened up with Hellion and Reaper. Reaper and Hellion.
Yeah, and also Marines coming out from this. I was honestly half expecting maybe a couple more Reapers coming out from GuMiho, but he did want to preserve his gas a little bit. I guess he wanted to prioritize his add-ons and his factory as well.
This is pretty interesting, and it looks like we may be going for some early aggression from BabyMarine. He doesn't go for an early Cyclone, by the way, which is what we typically expect, especially from a defensive player. He's going for a tank. I imagine we're going to be seeing a medevac behind this as well.
There we go. Yeah, the medevac is coming out. He is planning to go for that full-on drop into GuMiho's base by the looks of things, but we'll see how he utilizes his tank.
This is crazy. So first, BabyMarine, he's opening up with a tank drop, but behind it, he's going for a very fast third TC.
Huh. This is a game of fake outs, I think, coming out from both of our players, because GuMiho, okay, in fairness, GuMiho is still producing a lot of Marines. He is getting stim very, very early on, but to me, it looked like GuMiho was, from the opening, just wanted BabyMarine to scout his second racks with those SCVs, and yeah, was kind of hoping that BabyMarine would overreact a little defensively, perhaps.
Yeah,
but that's not the case.
I think this is just better for GuMiho. We'll see. I mean, he has so many Marines already because of the 2-1-1 opener that you almost never see in this matchup, by the way. We do see GuMiho immediately diving on this. He's not giving BabyMarine the opportunity to siege up.
Yeah, that was a very good use of the Raven to just sort of scout the medevac and to scout the harass coming down as well. Keep in mind, Ravens start with more energy now. GuMiho has waited a little while. He can afford... wait, I forgot that auto turrets cost more. He can afford one auto turret, but there we go. Disable on the medevac, and there is no escape. Thankfully for BabyMarine, he was at least able to deny stim, but GuMiho comes out of this without losing anything else.
Yeah, that was a very efficient trade from GuMiho, but as you said, I do think denying stim is pretty important, especially because we don't have another tech lab on any of these racks to immediately restart. Missing your stim timing when going for a 2-1-1 is disastrous, so BabyMarine is going to be able to buy himself a lot of time.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it the winning move from BabyMarine just yet, but without a doubt, he's, like you said, just bought himself a lot of time. The fact that he went for this earlier third CC as well just means that he's going to skyrocket the income.
Yeah, GuMiho is working on his own third CC now after his stim was denied and delayed. So he's kind of trying to reverse engineer what's happened. He actually still hasn't started stim, by the way. So yeah, this is going to be very delayed here. BabyMarine is going to have a lot of time to himself. He's going to have a lot of time to rebuild what he just lost. He did lose a tank. Looking at the units lost tab, he did come out worse for wear, especially when it came to gas. But again, he has time to recuperate from that.
Yeah, we'll see how well he's going to be able to do so. Again, he's going into the mate game with quite a huge advantage, an income advantage, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he hasn't landed his third CC yet, but he's been making 3 SCVs at a time. He's got triple mule production as well. It looks like he's been missing a couple of SCV cycles.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't been... It's not like he's been losing SCVs, he just hasn't been producing them anywhere near as efficiently, so he's falling behind a little bit there, but he should be able to catch back up.
Yeah, I'm hoping so anyway, because now GuMiho has finished up his third CC. He's going to be landing it quite a bit quicker than BabyMarine. He is still going to have to wait a little while before that turns into an orbital, so BabyMarine can still definitely catch up, but I'm just surprised GuMiho is ahead 4 whole workers.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a supply block here as well from BabyMarine. I think that's been happening a little bit sporadically as well. So we do see that his macro is slipping a little bit here and there, and at the highest level of play, that makes the biggest difference. We can see GuMiho even having a 6-worker lead at this point, which is pretty insane. So yeah, BabyMarine, he's gonna have to try and catch up again from this as we see a scan, and GuMiho confirms the timing of the third CC.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to get really worried now for BabyMarine, because whatever advantage he once had going into this has now been completely neutralized. GuMiho, he is still looking to go for that stim timing, and this time stim is on time.
Yep, stim just finishes up. We've already got +1 attack. We've got +1 armor on the horizon. No combat shields. Again, we only had 1 tech lab researching, so a little bit late as well for that. But GuMiho, he just has so much army.
He really does. He still needs to be very careful. 4 tanks are not something you want to underestimate here with all of these Marines, but he's setting up for a bit of a backstab.
Yeah, and here we go. How good of the Raven control. We do see, oh my god, every single tank disabled.
Yeah, I mean, this anti-armor missile is good, but it doesn't actually do anything if you don't have units to take him out. The drop into the main base from GuMiho should get cleared up. There's even a tank in the back line, and just like that, BabyMarine's able to defend.
Wow, he doesn't just defend. BabyMarine shuts this down. He didn't lose a single tank in the defense. He didn't lose any workers either to the drops. Like, that was insane.
That was probably one of the most one-sided engagements I think I've ever seen in a TvT.
You're not wrong, mate. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, GuMiho had a Raven, sure, but you can't use as many auto turrets to try and buffer, and that's really what you need in that situation. You can't disable Marines, of course, and anti-armor missile isn't necessarily going to cut it either. So, yeah, GuMiho just didn't have as many options, and now BabyMarine, he's going for a massive doom drop.
It's one of those things. GuMiho had 1 Raven, BabyMarine had 2.
It's true.
Math checks out.
Math does check out. We do see GuMiho has his own quadruple drop outside the main base of BabyMarine, though, so we could see a bit of a pseudo-base trade scenario. Of course, GuMiho is only working with Master Marine. BabyMarine is going to be dropping some tanks into the main.
And GuMiho now notices the drop, but it seems to be a little too late. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, GuMiho is dropping at the third base location. He takes out that tank and is able to secure that high ground.
Yeah, he secures the high ground. He takes down the auto turrets as well. Immediately, the third base is going to be going down. At the same time, BabyMarine is getting control of the main base of GuMiho. The production is under threat. It's going down.
It's all going down. GuMiho was able to take out a base and so many SCVs, but BabyMarine was able to take out the majority of GuMiho's production.
Yeah, and with this siege, he's also going to be able to lay siege upon the third base as well. BabyMarine getting so much damage done. But GuMiho is turning around and he's coming back home. Can he pull this off, though? Can he break this siege line? Oh my god, a lot of Marines go down for BabyMarine.
Oh no, yeah, I think that was a little bit of a blunder here for BabyMarine. The Marines of him go down, and now there's nothing stopping GuMiho from just dropping on top of these tanks.
Yeah, a little bit of a misstep. We saw he just took so many tank shots trying to go into a funnel there, and now the medivacs are getting picked off as well. BabyMarine, he looked like he had such a commanding position in the main, and now he lost it.
Yeah, a little bit impatient here from BabyMarine. Could have definitely, just continued to try to siege down this third base, try to starve out GuMiho a little bit, but yeah, I can't say I blame him from seeing just one tank standing there and wanting to take the initiative there, but a little bit miscalculated for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, it may just be one tank, but it's still one tank.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we do see the two armies skirmishing here. We are pretty similar in army supply, but one of these tanks of BabyMarine is going to get picked off. We do have an anti-armor missile on the army of GuMiho.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, these tanks of BabyMarine aren't quite in range of those anti-armored Marines, and that's really the best way to take advantage of anti-armor.
Yeah, bearing in mind that anti-armor missile was also nerfed as well. Oh my god, a lot of these full medevacs are being targeted down. Very nice pickups here by BabyMarine.
Yeah, just good enough, I think, to give him enough momentum to keep this going. No, apparently not. GuMiho will drop at a bit of a safer location, and he has just enough units to sort of stall whatever momentum BabyMarine had.
Up! Oh my god. Yeah, but BabyMarine, he bleeds out a couple more units. He bleeds out a tank. These are things that he cannot afford to lose. He's down to only 4 tanks, even with his opponent. But again, they are still rushing across the map. And what's more important is that GuMiho had this base on the left-hand side mining the entire time. He's been on 4 bases. And BabyMarine has only been on 3. Like, GuMiho can just outproduce him. Even though he had to rebuild his production, it has been rebuilt.
It has been rebuilt, and you know, while a lot of barracks did go down earlier on, what didn't was that starport. And we see now GuMiho really utilizing it to the full potential. Just having 2 Vikings gave him the air superiority. Now that he has 4, I don't see a way for BabyMarine to catch back up.
Yeah, he's got to go for another Hail Mary play, maybe another Doom drop into the main base. It could definitely work. It almost worked in the past. The problem is that now we have some sensor towers. Now GuMiho is kind of securing himself and turtling up here on these 4 bases. We have another sensor tower here on the left-hand side as well. It's going to be so difficult for BabyMarine to slip past.
Yeah, I worry now, like, that we're going to get into a bit of a turtle scenario, because I just think that that would be probably the safer option for both of our players. But no, BabyMarine, he's still pushing out. He still wants to try to equalize.
Yeah, I think he knows that he's behind right now, and GuMiho knows that he just has to defend. He just has to lay back and wait for BabyMarine to come to him. So we'll see if BabyMarine can somehow pull this off. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any more Ravens. Not anymore. They all fell earlier, and he is kind of in siege of some of these tanks. Oh.
Yeah, but he'll be bleeding out scans to try to be able to take him out. Again, GuMiho with 4 Vikings forces BabyMarine to retreat. There's also a double drop from GuMiho, just trying to pick off whatever bases he can, if there were any bases.
Yeah, just confirming that BabyMarine is still stuck on 3 base economy. We don't have a 4th CC done. We may have to lift up and move the main over if it comes to that. This entire time as well, GuMiho has had the upgrade advantage. He's had 3-3 for a while. 3-3 still on the way for BabyMarine. So overall, his army is of lower quality, and GuMiho, he's taking a 5th behind this.
He's taking a 5th, he's getting Liberators. He is so far ahead.
He really is. I think we have to just go again for one final move here. GuMiho is moving in towards the 3rd base. BabyMarine, he doesn't care. He's stimming on forward. He's going right through the center of the map.
Yeah, base trade is probably his best bet at this point, but even then I don't think it's going to be enough. 2 tanks here, going to be enough to bleed out a lot of these Marines. And BabyMarine still has a lot remaining to keep this push going, but on the other side of the map, he is losing everything.
Yeah, the problem is that GuMiho has Liberators, so even if we have tanks sieged up on the high ground for BabyMarine, they are going to be taken out just as I say it. A
little bit of unfortunate pathing going on there.
Yeah, and now BabyMarine's trying to bust into the main base, but GuMiho, there's not really too much stopping him from getting into the main of BabyMarine either, bearing in mind that GuMiho still has plenty of other bases out on the map.
It really does. He even has a little defensive force of Marines in his main base, and once he's able to take this out, BabyMarine's not going to have anything. We might even just get into a scenario where GuMiho wins by killing all the bases.
Yeah, and you say a couple of Marines, but GuMiho actually has more Marines in the main. There we go. He does commit to a fight, pushes into tanks, does get cleaned up, but GG gets called, and GuMiho takes the first game.
I was hoping we would get a, whatchamacallit, building destruction race. But yeah, I guess BabyMarine did see the writing on the wall and decided to tap out.
Oh, he did. But honestly, like, that game was pretty close overall. Like, there were moments where BabyMarine was looking pretty good himself, especially when he was able to get it, like, secure himself in the main base of GuMiho, and he also kind of deflected all the aggression, all the early push from GuMiho as well, from that 2-1-1. Yeah, very impressive.
It definitely was. It yeah, felt in a way like both players were making a couple of missteps here and there that put them behind a little bit, or rather gave their opponents a lot of breathing room, but in the end, GuMiho just made fewer missteps than BabyMarine.
Yeah, I do think that we didn't get to see it in DreamHack EU because we didn't get to cast any TvTs, and I think we're both aware that TvT is one of the matchups that is going to be influenced the most in the new patch. I think something that we saw really come to fruition was the changes to the Ravens, especially not just like how much like auto charge you can throw down on a full energy Raven, but also the fact that the anti-armor missile was nerfed as well, and we saw it used twice this game, and both times it just wasn't anywhere near as impactful, and it didn't really sway the fight in the way that it usually does.
Yeah, part of me has to wonder how much of that is because of the actual anti-armor nerf, and how much of that was just because the players who use anti-armor missile didn't have any units remaining that could take advantage of that.
True.
Well, we'll have to keep that in mind, but yeah, we will keep our eye out on the map, I think. Is going to be the plan.
Yeah. It's important to bear in mind, as in the end, Ravens, they can throw down less auto turrets, and also I believe the armor shredding as well has been reduced by 1 compared to before. So
I'm so sad. Used to be able to completely nullify the upgrades of a fully upgraded army, and now it's like, no, they still have 1 armor. Smooch. Anyway, we're going to be continuing our series now on Waterfall, the Terran map. We're in the bottom left-hand quarter map, starting all the way in that bottom left-hand quarter. We have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Italia. He is the brother of Raynor, but not quite following in his Zerg footsteps. I'm so proud. Representing Team Roddy, he is BabyMarine.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, but also going for it, not just a proxy Rax, a proxy 2 Rax. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Storm Gaming. It is GuMiho.
I don't see an SCV scout light.
No. Hopefully BabyMarine moves out after the Rax to scout instead. Fingers crossed, as yeah, we do have 2 Raxes right outside the main base of BabyMarine. There we go. He is going for that scout now. And it is Waterfall, so it doesn't take too long to get across the map.
It really doesn't, and even then, okay, Proxy Reaper is going to be the name of the game here for GuMiho. It's also possible to be able to defend from 2 Rex Proxy with just a 1-1. But we'll see when BabyMarine gets his factory.
Yeah, there we go. Factory is going to be on the way. He's also getting a spotter depot as well on the edge of his own main base. He goes for the SCV scout and he confirms, okay, your Raxes are missing. He's just double checking, making sure the Raxes aren't also somewhere in the main base. And he should be able to piece together that, yes, something is very clearly wrong and I am being proxied.
Yeah, still committing to the Reaper production here from BabyMarine.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, here we go. These first couple of moments are really important for BabyMarine. He's going to be pulling 4 of these SCVs to help buffer and make up for his lack of units.
Yeah, he needs to buy himself so much time before he can get more Reapers, or maybe even Marines. The most important unit for BabyMarine right now is the Hellion. One of them is in production. Up! And he does have to be very careful about pulling the SCVs as well. He loses one of his Reapers. Great target firing from GuMiho. This is already a lot of lost mining time, and the longer this goes on, the better it is for GuMiho. Yeah, and GuMiho, he's just killing too many workers right now. He keeps his Reaper alive! Oh my god! Yeah, Hellion is out now though, but this is a really good Reaper split coming out from GuMiho. More Reapers are coming out for BabyMarine, but even more of them are coming out for GuMiho.
Yeah, there was a very crucial moment where we had 1 to 3 Reapers, and 1 Reaper for BabyMarine and 3 for GuMiho, and BabyMarine just wasn't looking for 1 split second, and in that split second, that's when GuMiho was able to get a kill and snowball, and now he gets into the main base as well. BabyMarine, he's falling apart.
He's got no mining. He can't afford to make literally anything right now.
Yeah, he moved out at just the wrong time. He missed all of these Reapers. He has zero income.
Yep. Oh. GG is called in the end. GuMiho is going to be taking that series 2-0. I feel your pain, BabyMarine. I feel your pain. GG.
GG, Buffy. Again, BabyMarine, he was able to scout and he was responding quite well. But it is very, very micro-intensive when you're in the situation where you're being proxy 2-axed. You need to be very careful with your SCVs. You need to have the control and micro to pull back weakened SCVs as well, or even go for repairs, just to make sure you don't lose too much, and to make sure you keep your 1 Reaper alive so you can slowly catch up, get your 2nd Reaper, and more importantly, get your Hellion. But if you lose a little bit too much too quickly, then yeah, the snowball is real.
Yeah. A really big snowball effect. It's an old mantra of Terran, right? Where your priority should be to keep your units alive more than to kill your opponent's units.
Yeah.
It's not always true, but it's especially true when you're getting proxy Reapered and going for a 1-1 like that. You just need to make sure that your Reaper stays alive, you know, just try to zone out your opponent a little bit, buy yourself enough time to get Hellions, and then you just shut down the proxy. But BabyMarine, a little bit bloodlusted, you know, a little bit. He wanted to kill the weakened Reapers, but that's exactly what GuMiho was banking on. He baited him so well.
Yeah.
And he just snowballed.
He really did. So congratulations to GuMiho. GuMiho is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals. And what's exciting to me is we were talking a little bit at the start of the broadcast about degens, about players that stay up.
Starduck.
We were talking about Starduck. But players who play in ESL Open Cup EU and keep going. And one of those players that we're going to be seeing going up against GuMiho is MaxPax.
The champion of ESL EU, just I think even just a short hour or two before this was played out. He 3-0'd Clem in very convincing fashion. And now he's looking to get a little bit of revenge here for BabyMarine. Yeah. I don't know why it's revenge here for BabyMarine. They're not teammates. But
you know, it's that European
he's actually teammates with GuMiho.
It's you're not wrong. The narrative is crumbling before us. But yeah, MaxPax, he did play in ESL Open Cup Europe just mere hours ago, and he made Clem look bad. Like he just rolled Clem over in a 3-0. We casted it a couple of days ago if you want to tune into the VODs, but MaxPax was looking on fire.